And you don't want to stitch them together because then it starts feeling weird, and if the stitching gets loose, then the whole sock is ruined, and you just have to throw it away.
You could just throw the one sock away and just keep the good sock and
You
as a
don't want it.
spare,
It depends on. Oh, damn it!
and
Sorry.
keep keep it as a spare for
Well,
one
some
of
of the
your other
socks I.
socks.
Here's the thing though. Say I have two pairs of socks that match. I mean, it'd be more forgiving if one of the socks has a hole in it. But some of the pairs I have like are only like a single pair. So if one sock goes bad, you almost have to throw both of them away. I have a lot of socks, but I remember last year I had to throw away a bunch of the regular black socks from Hanes. The sock itself was so thin that it would only last for maybe 2 months before the holes start showing, and
Hmm.
you start noticing the holes. Oh,
Whoa, don't mind me.
come on, point to point. I was right.
I was
All
just
right,
thinking.
guys. So if you want to know, I call it point to point. Actually, that's what my friend and I call it, is point to point when you got to do the acid deliveries.
I'm going to make my way to E and A,
All right, I'll go to B and C.
and then if I drive any one paths that are close, I'll do it along the way.
Mm. Well, C is very far away, so you're gonna have to do the other three if you want to do them. Oh crap! Which one is it? Oh yeah, it's the one here.
Ah,
What?
someone put a pole in my way. I got itchy on my
Get wanted
lower back.
Okay, I'm not wanted. Excellent. All right, I'm gonna go to C and I'm gonna get the Sparrow. So you'd probably be going to D, A, and E. All right. Did I put the Sparrow away? Okay, I
Uh,
did. I just want to make sure I did.
oop, wrong way.
Well, I will admit though, since the newest update in Warframe, my Obex, my Prisma Obex, has never gotten better now. That
Mm-hmm.
one particular mod, the Tenakai mod, increases my damage output by at least twofold. And I've already gotten used to using Tenakai. I have tried it before, but I always found it wonky, depending on what weapons you're using. And I personally feel like it's right at home with the sparring weapon. When you do the foot stomp, the heavy attack for the sparring weapon is a foot stomp that does considerable damage. And when you get the Tenakai proc, your foot stomp is like instantaneous. It's like the daddy putting his foot down, I'm in charge kind of stomp. And it's so cool. And after learning more and more about using it, I've actually gotten so good at it now. But I'll still fail every now and then. I'm like, you're not going to expect to kill anyone all the time. This is the one with the truck, right? Where I got to go to the truck.
Uh,
Hold on, let me go to the other side.
it's usually at the front.
Not that one, right?
I'm not sure which one you're at.
I'm not sure which one I'm at either. I think it's this one. Yeah, either way, I'll have my answer. I'm gonna go ahead and spawn my Sparrow in advance. And somebody just hit it. Yeah. Uh. Doors. A motorcycle helmet while piloting a helicopter.
Why not?
That's like a Daft Punk helmet, man. Why can't we have a Daft Punk style helmet? That would be so cool.
You're talking about the ones with the sparkly disco ball motorcycle helmet type robot face guys?
No, you're thinking of those stupid ass helmets from like Saints Row reboot.
No, I'm not.
Oh, maybe. I'm not sure. It's hard. To
I
get
think
visualized.
I think Daft Punk is the ones with the the disco ball, the silver and gold disco ball robot mask.
I'm locking onto them. Are those cops down there? They have to be. Yeah, they're cops. Homing off. Yeah. Yeah, I definitely feel a sneeze coming on, but I will sneeze in the Yeah, I sure had my fun today in Warframe. When I was in Tycho for those 220 minutes, I think the number one thing that made me change my tactics is like, where is the timing? The anti-frames, ironically, are not stronger the longer you're in there. Thankfully. Misery, the only one that actually is stronger when he summons Shadow of Violence, and sometimes he summons Shadow of Angst, or the other one. And every now and then, Misery often dies after he summons. Well, I'm more likely to get killed by the Corpus units themselves, the longer I'm in those missions.
Hey there, Brad. Hi.
And I started realizing I spent more time picking up my K-Vat, over like killing the enemy. That's when it started dawning on me that you got to get the hell out of there. Once like the one-shots, they really do start one-shotting you. And I will admit though, if you were on a Revenant, you probably would get further in because of, you know, invincibility and bullshit. But at the end of the day though, like, do you really want to, like, most people would not be willing to spend 220 minutes in a survival mission, especially against the Corpus. I mean, here's the thing though, if you're like if you're fighting, say, the Grineer, like if you're fighting only the Grineer, I would probably go 300 minutes in, assuming I don't get one-shotted by them, which I have health gaining mechanics due to arcane persistence. But what's interesting is the fact that fighting the Corpus, they definitely start becoming way more dangerous. And the Nullifiers, as I said, on my way out when you were in party chat with me, and as soon as I get hit by a Nullifier, I'm immediately down, because when you're in a Nullifier, your arcane persistence is disabled. So yeah, and not to, like I said, my Kavat keeps getting down, and I'm being stupid and picking her up every time she gets down.
You shouldn't have to pick her up anyway if they get themselves up.
That's what I said. I should not have to. And I don't. I mean, I pick her up immediately or whenever I can, simply because I need that. I want that safety net. But I mean, I do have last gasp. I mean, it's what you get for upgrading your. Oops, wrong one. Is when you start upgrading your focus school line. I'm trying to figure out what it was, because it's been so long. I mean, I had mine fully upgraded almost since the later update with the old Peace update. I had literally like completely maxed out on all my focus schools, like 100% everything. Like, as a matter of fact, I don't even have anything to buy with my focus anymore. I mean, it'd be nice if they give you like a little store and give you more things to buy, like more consumables or something.
Point to
Hell, like
point. Sting
imagine if you
operation.
could get Spectre blueprints from ooh,
Where are we going?
aw,
Airport.
and yeah, like I mean, Last Gasp does work, but the downside is, like I said, when you're in that mission for so long, you gotta be very careful not to get knocked out, because especially when you're in Last Gasp, your operator does a lot more damage while in Last Gasp mode, but you're still squishy as hell. So you actually have to be very mindful on taking damage. And you know what's also funny? 200 minutes in, Spectres, Call Group, Syndicate Spectres, they all will die in minutes because of how dangerous those enemies are. Their damage output is so high that they destroy the Call Group. Literally watching Call get slaughtered like that is just sad. But then again, there's high-level enemies. The battle starts getting real right around 200 minutes in. You and I, the longest we've actually ever been in a survival mission together in Warframe was probably many years ago. I remember us doing this about a challenge, but that was under different circumstances. We were basically like keeping the area locked down because I was on a limbo. And the game mechanics, I don't think Overguard even existed back then. And nowadays, like, up against the Corpus as a limbo, like, the Rift doesn't feel as effective against them sometimes because of the nullifier bubbles. But I have learned ways of dealing with it. Thankfully, they made it to where the nullifier bubbles do not immediately pop the Cataclysm, but accelerate its shrinking, which is fine. I go down my operator and disable the bubbles anyway. Ugh.
That was quick.
But if we were to fight other factions, yeah. Like, if you and I were to, like, say, fight the Grineer, the two of us would definitely have an easier time, especially as a limbo, because they have zero counter to my abilities. Like, I could have a long duration, large bubble build, and make it to where they can't shoot us. Like, they would literally not be able to shoot us. And I'm talking about the overguarded enemies, like Eximus units and the like. They would not be able to hit us because their guns won't work. While stasis is active, every time they shoot bullets, they don't work. They're basically shooting blanks. And it's really kind of funny too, because imagine if you're doing a long run with your guildies and you're the only limbo in the group, and when somebody is like finally having enough, it's like, Limbo, turn off your stasis. And guess what? They immediately start dying because the bullets are now hitting them and shit like that. But like that kind of scenario would not happen because like you're not going to be in a survival mission with your clanmates for more than unless it's pre-made and you're actually like if you actually know them or spent enough time with them. But it's highly unlikely that they're going to actually want to run with you for more than for maybe like 20 or 30 minutes. I mean, I haven't really spent any time with my clanmates in months. I basically just been doing everything by myself. Since I've been actually wanting to really start focusing on only killing Corpus, I've been putting more time into Tycho and that mission node on the moon. I mean, sure, I'll bring other people. I'll go in there with other players every now and then, but you're not gonna get as many kills, which is fine. I mean, they'll split to the middle or whatever. Ah, I forgot to put my Sparrow away. That's okay. Hopefully it's not damaged.
Asshole. This.
Help take the fool's gold. Never mind. Now it just says leave the area. I also just realized I could just use my oppressor to get out of here because we're going to be doing client jobs anyway.
First, that spawns my damn oppressor on top of the damn bridge.
That's okay. I'm making my way to pick you up.
This game definitely needs to fix its spawning areas for its vehicles.
Relax. There you are. Alright, I'm gonna make my way over here at the end. Parking lot. You want me to take it to your buzzard or no?
I don't know how you got the buzzard out.
I meant to say the oppressor.
You can. It's on the highway. It's on your left. It's like right underneath you.
I see it. Get out. So isn't I there? Isn't that your oppressor right there? Alright, I'll go ahead and put my vehicle away. Now I'm gonna go ahead and spawn the terabyte soon. Gotta put my acid lab away, acid truck. I think I'm gonna move my blanket in the back of my chair like I did the other day. In the peripheral of my vision, I keep thinking my cat's right there.
Hello. Okay, gonna cost a little. I know someone.
You did that on purpose to get me to actually want to call him out, didn't you?
Alright, that's up to you if you wanted to.
I actually don't need to. I don't need to wear the blanket or anything. I just get it. What? I just called you. There we go.
Parked in a weird area.
It always parks in a weird area around here.
It's only if you spawn it in this area.
By the way, the gun van for tomorrow's mission is going to be able to tank quite a few missiles before you die.
Why'd you punch the helicopter?
I didn't.
Looked like you did.
Yeah, wrong button. Ah! Won't let me in the... Don't say anything. This helmet. Why can't I wear my outfit? There. That explains why I can't use it.
Okay, you're going to steal a diamond shipment from Angelico Fine Jewelry. Our client wants these rocks, but she won't pay retail price.
I'm on console.
Put some of our technology to use.
I literally forgot some. I actually for a second didn't think anyone was watching there for a second. That's okay, cool. It's all cool. All right. Yeah, I'm on console. Both of my friend and I are both on console. We're console players. I don't know if it's a sensory thing or do I just like or not, but like whenever I'm on the Terabyte, I feel compelled to using the camera. I mean, to be fair, when you like it does kind of feel like a sensory thing. It's so much quieter, so much peaceful, just watching the world. I'm just gonna get in position for the next one. Go to Vangelico. Oh yeah, you actually have to blow them up, don't you? Oh, my pad just turned off. No, I don't. I don't need to be in there. It'd be nice if you could wear hats inside vehicles. I mean, you can wear a hat in a vehicle. It has to be those backwards hats that you get from the casino.
Okay, backup plan. Grab the diamonds
Or something like that.
Holding goes to shit.
She literally is like like they're using mixed dialogue. So imagine like two different emotional responses to certain actions that you performed. Hey, the diamond guy is dead.
Got them? All right. Now get them over to our client. They know these diamonds will be hot, but there's hot
Yep.
and there's hot.
When your friend gets into Pressa Mark 2.
And other crews can see where you are.
Oh
Be
yeah.
careful out there.
Hey, Jordan, what do you think of the idea of that meme I had earlier this morning when we were in Warframe? What do you think of the idea of a meme involving Limbo and his apprentice? Like, when your best friend is a Limbo main, you're basically the apprentice. Or something like that. It's not an insult. I mean, it's like, a magician does something. Being a math magician, like, it's weird when I was looking at Google AI, like what Warframe would be the best Warframe to synergize with Limbo, and I don't know why, but I feel compelled to doing that. Well, we might do that when we do Fortified, when we actually have some time to chill. Remind me, because we are gonna do Fortified. Actually, I'm gonna make my way there now. In advance, guys. Don't think I've heard that song before, but not a bad song. Ooh. I almost crashed into one of those pole light dogs. All right. Protect the armored Boxville. I'm actually curious. I want to pick the brain for the origin of this particular mission. What the hell is so special about the armored Boxville? I understand you need to use the Phantom Wedge to destroy the crates, but like, what's the deal with the armored Boxville? Does it like contain files or something? It's a secure serve job, so well, it's a VIP work. And the curiosity is like, what's the origin? I might even ask Google that too.
It's a popular electric vehicle that they want.
That's dumb. It's literally the dumbest. I mean, to be fair, there's like they. All right, I think I'm in deep enough. It would suck. Um, remember those helicopters?
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, that was funny as hell, dude. It's like, it's rare to have stuff like that happen to us, but when it does, it's funny as hell. From an outside perspective, someone else would immediately think we're just two idiots, but to me, we're having a good time.
You can still be an idiot and still have a good time.
Exactly. And you can't be smart all the time. Everyone's gonna have their idiot moments. Sometimes it's good to be an idiot from time to time. I see a lot of... Oh my god, no. The game really doesn't want me to look at stuff on Google right now.
You could just stay in the tunnel.
I don't want to stay in a tunnel. I was in a war. Okay, when I'm looking up, it's kind of funny that it just looks like I'm just coughing it up or something.
Maybe you are.
Probably. No! Jordan, and you... Oh!
No,
Son of a bitch.
you're on your own. I'm on my oppressor. It's too dangerous for me. And don't you dare bring him over here.
Dude, they're already dead.
I still see one on my radar.
Liar.
There was.
There was. You had to correct yourself. Time doesn't stop for anything. Not even love.
Or limbo.
Well, actually, that's not true. Limbo can stop time. Oh, god damn it. No, why did I get on my... Jordan! There's some helicopters.
They won't come over here unless you go over there.
Alright,
We're too far away.
Yeah, okay. I'm gonna sit right here and, I'm gonna go get my...
You can see they're not moving.
I can see that they're not moving. Alright, I'm gonna get my phone. We're trying to do some... asking some questions. I got my answer gun, or I got my question gun. Time to go answer hunting. In the game GTA Online, what's the origin of the VIP work fortified? Fortified is a VIP work mission introduced in the import of the... It requires that the player is to be a CEO and own an armored box, blah blah blah. It is known as a fairly easy mission, often done in invite-only sessions for a steady payout, 25 to 35k. What was the other question I was going to ask? I completely forgot.
I don't remember. I was only half listening.
That's understandable. Okay. Let's see. In this fictional scenario, what if more accurate Limbo and more accurate... Do you want Solvigoth or Folly?
It don't matter. You can pick whoever you want.
No, you pick. You pick.
Sevigov, I guess.
Sevagoth from Warframe were to invade, what anime universe do you want Sevagoth and Lord Limbo and
I
Sevagoth to invade?
already picked. You pick.
I don't know. You have a much wider array of anime. Not Dragon Ball. We
One
already know what
Punch
happens
Man.
in Dragon Ball. No, come on.
I picked. It's an anime.
Fine. We're to invade the One Punch Man universe. In the scenario, Limbo's rift circumvents gag armor and plot armor. That's
So you're gonna cheat.
yes. You already know what happens if actually, you know what? Hold on a second. Let me back out of that. Alright. Well, actually, Limbo's Rift technically can circumvent conventional defenses, supposedly. Alright, let's see what happens. In this fictional scenario, a lore-accurate Limbo and Sevagoth would be a god-level threat. In the One Punch Man universe, likely causing chaos similar to Cosmic Fear, Gaoru, or Boros. Though they would not be physical powerhouses like Saitama, their strength lies in hacks, concept manipulating abilities, rather than raw destructive output, allowing them to manipulate reality and time in ways few OPM characters could counter. Lore accurate Limbo, the reality warper. Remember my character. Immortal untouchability. Limbo can exist in the Rift indefinitely, making him effectively untouchable by physical attacks, energy blasts, or speedsters like Flashy Flash. Time stop. Limbo can freeze any enemy and or projectiles within his Rift indefinitely. In OPM, this would lock down even high S-tier class heroes, freezing them instantly. Dimensional manipulation. Limbo can bring large areas, possibly whole city districts, into the Rift. He can scatter atoms across space, or reshape reality within his Rift. OPM countermeasures. Only characters with spatial manipulation or supernatural resistance, like Saitama's potential immunity to mental dimensional hacks, Tatsumaki's psychic barriers, or Blast's teleportation, might interact with him. Lore accurate Sevagoth, the Soul Reaper. Sevagoth is a specialized soul-manipulating entity that acts as a reaper, capable of turning enemies into fuel. Soul manipulation. Sevagoth feeds on souls, a form of attack that most OPM characters cannot defend against. Gloom. Area control. Sevagoth can emit a gloom aurora that slows everything within it to a crawl while stealing their life force to heal himself, making him almost impossible to kill in the war of attrition. The Shadow. Ghost. Upon dying, Sevagoth releases a shadow which can turn into a cloud of darkness, rotting living beings from the outside. OPM countermeasures. Metal Knight's drones would be useless. They have no souls. Geno's Piri Piri prisoner or human opponents would be consumed immediately. Interaction with the OPM universe. Limbo versus speedsters and physical attacks. Flashy Flash or Atomic Samurai would find their attacks phasing through Limbo or freezing in midair. Limbo could potentially trap them in a cataclysm and banish them permanently. Sevagoth versus S-Class heroes. Sevagoth's Gloom Aurora would make Tatsumaki's battlefield control difficult, as his miasma infects everything living. Sevagoth is unbeatable by any army, meaning he could wipe out the hero association fodder effortlessly. The threat level. Both frames are faster than sound, lore-wise, and possess durability that negates conventional damage. They would be likely classified as a god threat, forcing Blast to intervene. Saitama's interactions. In typical OPM fashion, Limbo might banish Saitama to the Rift, only for Saitama to punch his way back out because he doesn't understand the rules of the dimension. Let's see. Ultimately, Limbo and Sevagoth would not be destroyed by raw power, but rather by characters with high-level spatial blast or conceptual immunity like Saitama. Ultimately. Good fight though. That's a rather satisfying. That's actually pretty satisfying, if you ask me.
Try Folly.
We should get back to our work.
Well, I'm getting paid regardless, just sitting here.
You could do that. Remind me, we could do that in the future in here. If we pick like the 5-star challenge. I could do that when we do that. Alright. 8:15, huh? Damn, we're actually making good time. I actually don't know. Do we have anyone watching?
I was on there, just said hi.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, when I'm reading that stuff aloud, it takes me to places. It's actually pretty funny. That was actually a pretty satisfying thought experiment. But the idea of our Warframes being considered God tier is actually kind of... I mean, gameplay-wise, they're just mid. They're mid. Come on, man. Like, my Limbo is like meh compared to what he is in lore. And Sevagoth, ooh. He's definitely the damage dealer. However, when you actually see how, like, Limbo could scatter atoms across space, basically it would mean he could just wipe everything out. Well, technically speaking, Limbo's Rift does behave differently, so in theory, it should actually circumvent gag armor or plot armor or anything like that. I mean, the Rift functions differently than those other dimensions. No, it's not ready to turn the pad on. I'll turn the pad on when we actually get done with this job.
Okay, both the laptops to access their servers will be upstairs. Send the drone up there, avoiding any guards. Life Invader employees are idiots, but they'll still think something's up if they see a drone flying around.
Oh, you had to pick One Punch Man universe. Hey, that's actually not a bad universe. Oh, or what? Oh, damn, that was the wrong 61. I clicked on it too early. I'll reset it. Come on. Oh, 54.
One laptop down, one to go. We should have access to all that personal data as soon as it's
You got another
Oh,
subscriber back, by the way. You're at 180 again.
Huh? Oh, I wasn't even paying attention. Oh, that's cool. Oh, wrong one. Oh. So, I don't watch that show, but out of curiosity, is One Punch Man, like, is Saitama supposed to be, like, the end to a mean, like, a means to an end kind of character? Like, he only comes out when he absolutely is needed, or does he just randomly just do everything?
He just basically does whatever he wants.
Hmm. Volley actually would be probably as dangerous too. Now, if you wanted me to add more power level, what if I combined all three of them? The Sevagoth, Limbo and Sevagoth make one hell of a pair. Like, you got one that manipulates the environment, and you got one that manipulates life itself, pretty much. just in time. I just turned on my
That's
pad.
good work, and the pay is good too. Should be with you now.
Plowed or ramped up. You know what? We're gonna ramped up. This would actually give me the option to use the thought experiment. Yeah. It did say it would be in the future. I didn't think it was gonna be that early. There it is. Yeah. Go get my food. It. Yeah. Now, do you still want to make it One Punch Man universe, or do you want me to pick one?
You can pick one.
Awesome. I have one in mind.
Is it One Piece?
Damn it, Jordan. Fuck you. Fuck you.
Was that right?
Yes. Damn it, Jordan. Okay. No, I got the only one save where Limbo's Rift circumvents Flower. We already know what would happen if I did that. Saitama would die. Okay, in this fictional scenario, what if Lore Accurate Limbo and Lore Accurate Folly from Warframe were to invade the one... Hold on, I gotta go back. One Piece universe in... You want me to make it more fair where I say plot armor is disabled?
Do whatever you want.
Alright. Plot armor is disabled. Alright, here we go. In the fictional invasion of the One Piece universe by lore-accurate Limbo and Folly from Warframe, with plot armor disabled, the tide of war would shift heavily towards the invaders due to their ability to manipulate reality and dimensions in a way that bypass the standard physical laws of the Grand Line. The invaders. Lore-accurate power scaling, Limbo, the master of the Rift. Lore-wise, Limbo is a reality warping entity with total control over the Rift Plane, a pocket dimension between the void and material reality. Untouchable presence. By sliding into the Rift, Limbo becomes physically unreachable to anyone in the material plane, and even in One Piece, even the most advanced Bushoshoku armament Haki relies on a hitting substantial body, since Limbo is in a different dimension entirely. Physical strikes and most Devil Fruit powers would simply pass through him. Stasis and time control. Limbo can freeze anything within the Rift. Let me move my character real quick. Okay. Effectively stopping time for his enemies. A lore-accurate cataclysm. Oh, hi, Gracie. Could pull entire fleet islands or fleets into the Rift, where Limbo could then freeze the inhabitants indefinitely. Folly, the Shadowgrapher, a chaotic support and crowd control specialist who brings ink and shadowgraphs to life. Reality alteration. Folly can summon items from her sketchbook into existence, including Orokin death orbs that fire high-powered radiation lasers and explosive barrels that deal high damage based on a percentage of an enemy's maximum health. Plain air. She can attach enemies to ink balloons that strip them of their defenses, armor, and shields, and float them helplessly in the air. Against One Piece characters, this would likely translate to stripping away their Haki-based defenses or physical durability before dropping them for lethal fall damage. Invulnerability. Through her forced perspective ability, she can dive through inky frames to become briefly invulnerable while repositioning. Impact in the One Piece universe. Without plot armor, the strategic and dimensional advantages of these two warframes would be catastrophic for the world government and pirate crews. Logia invulnerability negation. While Logia users like Kizaru and Akinaru are difficult, I am butchering that last word, I know, are difficult to hit. Limbo's Banish ability doesn't require physical contact. It is a wave of dimensional energy. Once a Logia user is pulled into the rift, they are subject to Limbo's rules, including stasis, which could freeze them even in their elemental forms. Haki versus Void Energy. Haki is the willpower made real, but Void Energy in Warframe is often described as an extra-dimensional force that defies standard logic. Lore-accurate Warframe abilities are completely unaffected by dimensional boundaries. This suggests they could bypass or even negate Haki-based protections. Strategic Decimation. Folly could spawn life support capsules or conduit keys to sustain herself in Limbo indefinitely while disrupting the world's economy and logistics. Limbo could simply rift walk into Marieljo's or Organishan Shima, drop a cataclysm, and end the leadership of the world in seconds with a stasis-locked execution. The combination of Limbo's absolute dimensional defense and Folly's unpredictable reality warping arsenal would likely lead to a swift game over for the One Piece world, as they lack the specific nullifier technology that required to force the Warframe out of their specialized states. Yeah, they don't make it. Our two Warframes would dominate the One Piece universe. Not even the King of the Pirates would save them. Oh well. How do you think the fight would even end between our two Warframes versus the Straw Hat crew?
Probably won't end very well for them.
What do you think Limbo would do to Luffy?
Probably put him in stasis, laugh at him before he kills him.
What do you think my Limbo would do to Luffy? You already know what I do to my enemies when I'm on my Limbo, right?
You'll probably disembowel him, rip his guts out. While he's in stasis, so he can feel every bit of pain of it.
Oh no, I don't think you'll be feeling anything. That's the best part. It is the most humane way to kill them. They're in stasis, nothing works. If anything, like, he doesn't even have to do anything to Luffy. He can just, like, de-atomize him. How do you... okay, so, you already know what I do to Luffy, but imagine what I would be doing to, like, Chopper or something. Like, Nami would probably fall. Like, none of them would stand a chance. Basically speaking. None of them would stand a chance. Robbery in progress.
You know what's easier than robbing a bank? Robbing bank robbers. You're plugged into the traffic camera network. Check through the cameras and try to find this robbery.
Check the big city bank. I wonder if it's the small one this time.
No.
Of course it's not. It's never the small one. Yeah, I swear, it's like almost never the small one. It's always like either the country one or the big city bank. But never almost never the small one. There's only 3 banks. Yeah, you know, yeah. There's only 3 banks and that are robbable apparently. Okay, this gives me a chance to actually read up the other one. I'm sure you got this. Where do you want me to put lore accurate Limbo and Folly in? What's the next universe you want me to invade? Us to invade?
How about JoJo?
Interesting. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Universe. Okay, here we go. In this scenario, a lore-accurate Limbo and Folly represented the peak of void manipulation engineering invade the JoJo's Bizarre Adventure universe. With plot armor disabled, the fight becomes a matter of pure tactical supremacy and conceptual capability. Lore-accurate Limbo is a reality-warping god in his own dimension, capable of isolating targets from physical reality, freezing them in stasis, and manipulating space-time. Lore-accurate Folly, the Shadow Grapher, acts as a support disruptor, creating ink blots that slow enemies, summoning 3D sketches.
Take this off our hands, as long as the cops are out of the picture.
Like traps, like Oregon Death Orbs, and stripping armor shields using balloons. Here's how the invasion unfolds. The power gap, Void versus Stands. Limbo's invulnerability. Lore-accurate Limbo is immortal while in the Rift. Since Stands are mental projections of the user and not void energy, they would likely phase through him using dimensional traveling abilities, like D4C or the Hand. The no math problem. The only reason Limbo died in lore was a miscalculation. Without plot-induced errors, Limbo simply banishes entire city blocks into the Rift. Folly's utility. Folly can create Orokin Death Orbs that fire lasers that bypass armor. Her plain air balloons can disable JoJo characters for suspending them and stripping their defenses. Key matchups. Plot armor disabled. Against Stardust versus Stardust Crusaders Part 3. Limbo dominates. Jotaro cannot punch a target in another dimension. Stasis freezes projectiles, including Star Platinum's knives. Vanilla Ice Cream is the only threat, as he also uses a pocket dimension. However, Limbo's Rift is arguably more complex, and he can cast Cataclysm from a safe distance. Versus Diamond is Unbreakable.
You already did a 5-star?
Yeah. Let me get the